proud Hispanics Jose Luis Castillo and Alfonso Gomez are promising to go to war in Texas.
I think it's going to be a great fight, a great action fight, and I just hope that the Gomez don't run.
I like him a lot. I respect him because everything is done for boxing, especially for Mexican boxing. But when it comes to be up in the ring, all the respect goes away, and we have to work. We have to do what we have to do, and I'm going to try to hit him as hard as I can.
Mexican Castillo's best remembered for his 2 brutal epics with Diego Corrales.
Unbelievable! One of the greatest fights of the last 10, 20 years!
Yeah, I really believe I can give 1 or 2 more fights like that. If my opponent goes and trade punches with me, it's going to be a sensational night.
But at 36, can he regain that form against Gomez, who caused a shock by ending the career of another all-action veteran in Arturo Gatti?
Give it all 100%, and if you're a good mathematician, that just means it's going to be a tremendous fight.
I'm going to look for a knockout, and I'm gonna knock this guy out.
Castillo's been in some real battles over the years. Everybody will remember the fight against the late Diego Corrales, one of the great fights.
He showed heart, he showed skill, and it was so up and down. Walked him down, didn't want a back cut. He wanted it toe to toe against Corrales. It was unbelievable. You just couldn't take your eyes off the screen.
Glenn, it's in many people's top 10s of all-time fights.
It's like your Hagler Hearn. It's like the great, your Barrera Morales, the first fight. It's one of those, one of the classic fights that you'll never forget.
But he's 36 now. How much of this has he got left?
I think this style suits a younger man. This style will have faded a hell of a lot at this stage in his career. So against Gomez might be able to outwork him, outpace him, outpunch him, but he won't have the power or the skill, the knowledge in his brain that we're seeing here.
I'm surprised to see him still around. He's been a tremendous champion, and fighters like him have always got something left. They can always put in another big performance.
There he is, Jose Luis Castillo taking on Alfonso Gomez. Michael Buffer completing the introduction.
Castillo. Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black with silver, official weight 145 pounds. His professional record, 21 victories, including 10 knockouts, with 4 defeats and 2 bouts even. From Guadalajara, Mexico, the defending WBC Continental Americas champion, Alfonso Gomez.
Well, can Jose Luis Castillo roll back the years here at the age of 36 against Alfonso Gomez, who made his name really in the TV Contender series and became quite popular through that, but he was dismantled by Miguel Cotto.
Punches hit in this area will be considered a clean punch. Punches hit in this area will be considered a clean punch. Now, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want you to keep the fight clean at all times. I want you to protect yourself at all times. And what I say, you must obey. Good luck to both of you. Touch him up, Brennan Swarthy.
Kenny Bayliss is the high-profile referee for this one. They are fighting for something called the Continental Americas Welterweight Championship, which is not of any great significance in itself, but it is nonetheless an interesting battle. Castillo has won his last 4 by knockout in low-profile bouts in Mexico as he's looked to rebuild in this 20-year career that he's had. The long hair and the dark trunks of Alfonso Gomez, whose limitations were brutally exposed really by Miguel Cotto when he tried to step up to world level. How much has Castillo got left, though?
Yeah, at least Castillo finds himself in the proper weight division. I think he was really draining himself trying to get down to lightweight. Even 10 stone was a struggle for him. But 36, and although Gomez is short of top world class, he's still a good operator, a good quick mover, quick puncher. So this is actually a good match when you look at both stages of these guys' career. I'm surprised that Gomez, I thought he may have retired after Cotto wiped him out. but obviously he still has some ambitions, and we'll see how much of that he has left in this one.
He's won 3 since that Cotto defeat, Alfonso Gomez. He's 29, 7 years younger. Still should have something in the tank, and would be very disappointed if he couldn't win a fight like this against an aging Castillo. He did beat faded Arturo Gatti, sadly now the late Arturo Gatti, of course. Also beat Ben Taki. There's a couple of names on that record there for Gomez.
You just have to be careful with two fighters at this age and this stage of their careers. It doesn't turn into a kind of sparring session. They've both started pretty cagily in the opening rounds here, which you have to expect. You have to work things out, have a look at your opponent. So would expect this to catch fire. Maybe Gomez just producing the sharper work in the opening round.
They are two Mexicans though, Jim. Even though Gomez is living in California these days, but originally from Guadalajara. Castillo from Mexicali.
Castillo was always good at getting close to opponents before he lets the punches go. A really good technician. Sparred for several years with the great Chavez. Learned a lot, obviously, from those sparring sessions. Just feel in the opening round, Gomez just letting go with a few more punches.
Just a feeling out opening round, really, between these two. Right hand again from Gomez. He has just been that little busy, and he digs in a left hand to the body as well, and looks for a big finish to the round. He probably stole it. Welcome back. This rock music you can hear between the rounds, by the way, is part of the new top-rank way of doing things. Trying to make it sexy for Generation X.
Well, I'd like to think that any excitement we're going to get is going to come from the boxers in the ring. It was a quiet opening round, cage opening round, both just feeling each other out.
Second round, black trunks of Alfonso Gomez. The 29-year-old, his full record is 21 wins, 4 defeats, 2 draws. Castillo, 70 fights behind him, 60 wins and 52 inside schedule. He's had quite a career with a fair bit of controversy mixed in. Involved in that amazing first fight when he lost to Corrales, went on the brink of victory. For the next 2 he was overweight, and in the end got banned from the lightweight division by the WBC after 2 huge fines as well. He was naughty, wasn't he, really?
Yeah, I don't think he made any effort to make the weight. I think they knew well in advance that he couldn't make lightweight any longer. Castillo warming up a little bit here, but still being caught as he comes forward. I think he's the heavier puncher of the two, so if he can get himself close and let the punches go, make them count, but he certainly realises he has to rev things up a little bit.
Just looking more dynamic, isn't he, earlier on here, Alfonso Gomez? More business-like. Yeah, nice name to get on the record, particularly if you're from Mexico. Means a lot, I would think, to Gomez. By the way, Castillo tonight, remember, he was a world champion at 9 stone 9 lightweight. He's 10-4 here tonight, and Gomez is weighing a pound more than that. Just looked a bit flat early on and leaden, Castillo.
Yeah, well, he's trying to rev things up a little bit now, trying to step in with the punches, looking to get some power in the shots. Gomez still wants to move around and pop the punches. Yeah, it's a match-up that could catch fire, and signs is beginning to do that now.
When Gomez boxed in the Contender TV series, he was weighing up between 156 and 159 pounds, almost up at middleweight.
Stop.
Operating as a welterweight here. He actually fought in Newcastle in USA-England Contender match against Martin Concepcion and stopped him in 7 rounds. Good right hand there, little chopping right hand. Castillo has his left hook, a trademark shot that for Castillo. Did so well in his first fight with Floyd Mayweather. One of the toughest that Mayweather has had along the way. Lovely right uppercut from Gomez as this warms up a little here in the last minute of the second round.
Yeah, this is much better now, much better.
Welcome back to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. They were winners of 3 Super Bowls in 4 years back in the 1990s. Not doing quite so well these days. But this is the house that Jerry Jones built. He is the huge entrepreneur behind the Dallas Cowboys franchise. And it was his idea, along with Bob Arum, to bring this big Manny Pacquiao fight night to Dallas tonight.
Good left hook and then a clash of heads. Castillo just complaining about it. He come off worse. Don't see any blood. Hopefully not.
Good right hand from Alfonso Gomez, who's busy and determined. That's a nice combination as well. Is this a little bit too much for Castillo tonight? Let's see.
I think Castillo's trying to drill in solid punches, looking a little bit for the power, setting himself in maybe a little bit too much. Whereas Gomez letting them flow a little bit more, not all cultured punches from him, but he's keeping busy, keeping Castillo occupied.
Of course, Castillo was knocked out by a body punch, great body punch from Ricky Hatton in 2007 in the 4th round. But he claims before that fight, in the months before that fight, his brother had died. He split up with his wife and was handed a £1 million tax bill by the Mexican government. He said his mind wasn't on the fight, but then fighters always try to find some excuse for losing, don't they?
Yeah, I still feel Ricky Hunt harder than the tax man did that night.
Great shot, wasn't it? Walked onto a jab, didn't he? And then found a right hand back, Gomez.
Just that little bit sharper in the early stages. Sometimes Castillo takes a round or two to warm up. This may be one of those nights. But Gomez looking sharp.
Stop. Let him up.
I think he's just trying to knock the fight out of Castillo, isn't he? Trying to discourage him. Stop him getting any big ideas of chalking up a good win and clawing his way back somewhere to the fringes of another world title chance.
Castillo's looking slow at the moment. He's walking onto punches and not throwing any of his own. Just maybe the movement of Gomez frustrating him a little bit. Good work again from Gomez. Not top quality punches from him, but they're landing and they're not allowing Castillo to set anything up.
He's just outworking Castillo, isn't he, so far?
Just a little bit too sharp at the moment for Castillo.
Another right hand. He picked it well there. Boxing quite nicely here, Alfonso Gomez. He was out of his depth with Cotto and was blown away in 5 rounds, but here, doing okay. There's Jimmy Johnson, Bob Arum sitting alongside him. And just look at those plush seats that the VIPs get here. It's better than first class on the airlines, isn't it, that?
Yeah, it's a tremendous stadium. They've done everything right, and they've done everything right tonight.
Cost 1.2 billion to build, 1.2 billion pounds if you make the translation from dollars. Only a little bit more than Wembley, and I can tell you it's got considerably more than Wembley, including a roof, which helps. fourth round of this one. Black trunks, Alfonso Gomez. Jose Luis Castillo in his 71st fight tonight. Plenty of miles on the clock for him. I think everybody had forgotten about him, but he went away to Mexico and chalked up a few wins and suddenly resurfaces here.
Well, I've always had a great respect for Castillo because he's always kept himself busy. Going to getting towards 20 years soon, and he's always kept himself busy. When things that went against him, he get back into the ring again quickly. A real good pro, one of the old school.
I think his weight ballooned a bit, and why he had the trouble with the scales was I think he liked a beer or two. That was the word, Jim. He liked a night out. Looked a bit unsteady on his legs then.
I don't know if that was a balance thing, but he was certainly caught by a punch just before that. It didn't look all that solid. But these are better punches from Gomez. He's stepping in with him a little bit more now.
Largely dominating the fight so far, Alfonso Gomez. Castillo needs to find another gear. That's quite old. Difficult for an old fighter like him.
Yep, no defence whatsoever. I mean, you could usually see him blocking or slipping punches, but he's looking very slow in this round. I wonder if he was hurt by that shot that staggered him slightly. I thought it was a balance thing, but he hasn't come up with much work since that.
He's starting to put more into these punches as well, you sense, Gomez. I don't know whether he feels he's just softened up Castillo. It looks as if he wants to go to town on him a little here. And he's looked a bit unsteady on his legs, the veteran Castillo.
Didn't look all that happy in the corner at the end of the previous round either. Maybe just because he knows he should be doing better. Good left hook from him there.
He'll certainly be relishing this opportunity to be back on the big stage, Castillo, but he's finding it hard. There's a lovely right hand again. There's lovely hand speed from Alfonso Gomez. He's looked good in this round. Definitely his round. Can Castillo dredge up anything from anywhere?
Gomez putting punches together. Well, sometimes they're just arm punches, but they're keeping Castillo occupied.
Alfonso Gomez, who at the press conference this week sang a very long song to the assembled reporters. He's in a band with his brothers, I'm told. Seems to be all the rage. Pacquiao's got some kind of concert laid on, I think, later on tonight as well, as he did after his last fight. He'll be playing all the way through the night because it's a late finish here. It's round 5 of this one. Gomez, black trunks. Too busy for Jose Luis Castillo so far.
Yep, Castillo taking too long to get the punches off. Looking very slow of movement, slow of thought.
Nice body shot again from Gomez, who's rebuilt quite well after being exposed by Cotto. That was just asking way too much of him, really, for a first world-class excursion. Looking to switch a little, Gomez, and find one or two different angles. He doesn't really need to do anything that much different from what he's been doing.
Well, Castillo's trying to pressurise him there, just trying to raise the tempo of his own work. But at 36, can he sustain it? I mean, at 10 stone 4, he looked in tremendous shape on the scales yesterday. But looking good and just having the snap and the sharpness is two different things.
Yeah. Muhammad Ali looked pretty good before he fought Larry Holmes. Looked good. And then was just a shell of himself when he got in the ring on that sad, sad night so many years ago. Good stuff from Gomez, just changing the angles. He says he enjoys it most when he's got the ability to counterpunch. I wonder if he was almost inviting Castillo in to try to put him under pressure. That was Castillo's usual style in his heyday.
Well, Castillo has tried to come up with something better in this round. He's pushing a bit more, trying to pressurise, but not really getting into range to do any damage. Still not quick enough.
He's just been made to look a bit plodding. Quite frankly, as far as Alfonso Gomez is concerned, this is a fight he cannot afford to lose. Nails Castillo with a right hand over on those far ropes. Looking a bit marked up, isn't he, too? The former world lightweight champion, Jose Luis Castillo.
Heads coming together again there, but just at the end of the rounds, Gomez the one putting the spite into the punches. There's a drive in that round from Castillo, but it hasn't turned things around, I'm afraid.
That was another Gomez round. We thought so anyway. As your view around this arena, everywhere you look there are massive screens, gigantic screens. In fact, they're so big that they were putting off the NFL players who played here when the stadium was first built. They had to move some of the screens upwards, further out of the eye line of the players. I think are they gonna pull Castillo out the fight here, I wonder?
Yep, I think they've done that.
Yep, they have. He's quit. The corner have said enough. It was pretty one-sided, and that's sad really for Jose Luis Castillo. Alfonso Gomez just had too much for him. He did his best. He tried to rally in that previous round. Didn't work, and that's a very, very good win for Alfonso Gomez, who dominated the veteran.
Yeah, a little bit of an anticlimax. I didn't see that coming, but nothing was going right for Castillo. He tried to turn things around in the previous round, gave it everything, had the drive, but Gomez met him head on and come back with better work of his own, finished the round stronger. So obviously Castillo and his corner have decided, what is the point allowing this to continue?
All over for Jose Luis Castillo, and I wonder if that's the end really of his career as well, or does he need to carry on boxing to still earn a few bucks? You hope not. It's been a distinguished career in the main. Been many, many headline-making fights along the way, and a few controversies. And those two know each other. Gomez has got all the respect in the world for Castillo, his countryman. He knows what he's done. And if that is the end, he can look back on his career largely with pride, barring the two rather disappointing efforts when he failed to make the weight for two of the fights with the late Diego Corrales. The third fight in that trilogy being cancelled altogether because Corrales wasn't going to go in with a man weighing that much heavier. Beaten here tonight, retired, and it's victory for Alfonso Gomez.
I mean, he's had a tremendous career, but I wonder how the Mexican fight fans in particular will look at this surrender. I mean, he wasn't being tuned up, things weren't going right for him. You know, he doesn't deserve harsh criticism, but there's always the chance. You know, we are harsh critics in the fight game, but a wonderful career if this is the end of it. So hopefully